Here we are in the Zeigler links again, and I want to go over a short PowerPoint about the terms you need to know about today's lesson and what it is you will be getting out of it. So you're going to be doing homework for 11.3, 11.4, and go ahead and start on 11.6. In 11.3, you're going to look at solving equations and checking your work. You'll learn how to clear fractions, clear decimals, which makes solving a lot easier, and then you'll practice collecting like terms. In 11.4, you'll be evaluating formulas and solving those formulas for one variable, and I'll explain what that means. And then in 11.6, you'll be dealing with word problems or application problems, translating from the word problem into equations, and then evaluating situations based on those word problems. Here are some terms you need to know. We'll be using them throughout. What is algebra? And it is the nightmare when math meets alphabet. Basically, algebra is math when you start introducing letters like X or Y, and we call those letters variables. Terms are numbers and variables multiplied together. They might just be numbers, they might just be the variable, and it could be like x or 2x or x squared y. Notice there are no plus or minus signs. It's just multiplied together. Expressions are when you add or subtract terms. So maybe you just have a term by itself. That can be an expression. 3x plus 7y minus 2z cubed. That can be an expression. Expressions have no equal signs. Equations are where you encounter the equal sign, and what you have is you have an expression compared to another expression. The equal sign means each of these expressions has to have the same value. Okay, what is an opposite? To take the opposite of a number is to make that number negative. So for instance, if you're given the number 2, the opposite is negative 2. Negative 3 is the opposite of 3. And then there's the opposite of the opposite. The opposite of 5, for instance, is 5. In other words, negative of negative 5 equals 5. Formulas. A formula is like a recipe. So for instance, the formula for distance is distance equals rate times time. So this helps you evaluate how far you've gone if you know how fast you've gone and how long you've been going. For instance, if your rate is 20 miles an hour and the time is 2 hours, then what is the distance? You would merely plug in 20 miles per hour for the rate and 2 hours for the time, multiply them together, and you get 40 miles for the distance. So that's an example of evaluating a formula. And that's your introductory overview of the terms and concepts you are going to learn and that you will need for the homework for 11.3, 11.4, and 11.6.